I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
You know, give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate.
Find your drive.
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 Our last streamed game of the day here at Canadian Ultimate Championships here in Ottawa, Ontario. We are bringing you a quarterfinal matchup in our women's division of the Junior National Edition. We've got Origine from Quebec City in dark playing against TORO from Toronto in white. Clay Hallett here, joined by Chantal Dussault. We are pleased to bring you this match. We have had one heck of a day on the stream. 3 Universe games with some major milestones and achievements for teams. We had Victoria attending their first nationals this morning, qualifying in a crossover game for the quarterfinals. We had Wicked just holding off Nitro in the women's division to once again put themselves in the top 8 bracket. And then Helios in the open division and knocking off a long-standing name Titan in their quarterfinal, and Helios punching their ticket to semis. And now we've got 2 old rivals, Origine and TORO, facing off in this quarterfinal for part of the semis. Chantal, it's been a busy day. I know you're looking forward to this. We were talking, we're feeling a little dehydrated, a little tired. It's been so much has been going on. What are you ready for?
We are ready for a game that is going to give a ticket to one of these 2 teams to the semi-finals already. So both of these teams have had quite the championship so far. Origine has won all of their games except the game against Dino, who is ranked first. And TORO had more of a fight for this tournament. TORO has won overall 2 games and lost 2 games. But importantly, they won the crossover game. So they are staying in the top 8 spots. And so that is why right now they get to play for a place in the semifinals.
The weather today has been fantastic. It's been hot, sunny. We are playing at the Ultimate Parks Incorporated. This facility is amazing with 19 fields. We're playing on unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe peoples. I mean, I am crazy grateful for the fact that we get to enjoy the land this way, that we get to be here. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but the beauty here that we get to experience, the privilege we get to play on this land has been massive. I'm definitely feeling pretty humbled by the fact that I get to be here. So we honor the fact that where we are and who this land belongs to and the fact that we get to be here. To the game, Origine will be starting on offense on the right. They are dark. This tournament's format is the teams do flip at half. But we've had all the games so far today go to Caps. And there's the horn to start.
Origine est à droite en bleu, puis elle va jouer contre TORO de Toronto en blanc qui est à gauche de votre écran.
Immediately setting his zone is TORO. Origine seeming unfazed, breaks the mark right away and moves the disc around. Breton puts that up to the line. Towing the line is 21, Le Chasseur. Breton gets that all the way around. Origine seeming unfazed. Defoe looked upfield shortly, but Origine getting through this zone like Swiss cheese, making a big grab to keep it alive is number 12, Asselin. Origine not spending any more time than 2 seconds holding the disc. It is paying off as they just march that up the field, and it's reined in by Elodie Asselin, just shredding that zone. Immediately puts Origine on the board, 1-0.
Puis ce qu'on a vu là, c'est vraiment la capacité à Origine de garder le disque en jeu. Parce qu'il y a eu deux gros jeux qui ont permis à Origine de garder la possession, vraiment des attrapés d'une main, qui font des layouts. Ça, le layout, c'est comme faire un plongeon finalement sur le gazon. Puis c'est ce qu'on a vu de la part d'Origine tout le tournoi. C'est vraiment une équipe qui sait comment manier le disque, puis qui va en garder la possession et prendre des bonnes décisions.
Yeah, I love the fact that they only looked upfield for 2 seconds. They didn't force anything through, and that's where they get that possession kind of game. It was an immediate look through. Is there anything in the zone? Dump swing.
Exactly, and they're very poised as they do it. So I'm sure that TORO won't let them get off easy with the rest of it. TORO will be starting on no for the next point. No turnover on that first point.
No, like you said, just a possession game, and they were just so chill.
They were chill, but they made some amazing catches, and they kept it in bounds while they were catching with one hand and falling on catching. So
Le Chassel and Asselin keeping that point alive.
Exactly.
With towing the line and a layout apiece. That sails out of bounds. Shimoda will bring that to the middle. Searching for the brick mark. Shimoda looking for options out of the split stack. Ringler dumps that back to check a, oh no, excuse me. A big rip by TORO, and a contested read makes the pass from Pearson difficult for Windover to grab under a lot of pressure from Origine.
La numéro 20 d'Origine, Florence Labonté, qui applique beaucoup de pression en défensive, puis fait en sorte que la joueuse ne peut pas bien lire puis prendre son temps là, pour attraper, ce qui cause un revirement.
Mousy swings that around immediately. And Origine looking for the holes through, but Enrique's pass just a little too low. So now TORO is on the doorstep. Pearson picks up, and it looks like it's a whiff on her throw. She's looking at her hands, wondering what happens. Yeah, hate when that happens to you. Origine with another break chance. They immediately get it moving, showing some agility in the middle. TORO can't seem to get a mark on as Origine moves that disc so quick, but that pass is low, and Pearson reads it. Garb keeps that alive. Shimoda in the middle alone, looking for options as TORO drops into a vertical stack. No mark, so she can take her time. Big grab by Windover, elevating. Pearson is going to put out that flick huck to a wide open. Naomi Liu gets TORO on the board. So TORO stays alive after a few errors from Origine and themselves, but showing some tenacity to get it down the score, 1-1.
And that was a beautiful long throw there, Clay. I mean, that was not just tenacity or luck. The TORO members, they really had some good handling, solid handling, a good long throw that was just beyond the player, so far from the reach of the defensive player in Origine. And you have to do that against Origine because Origine, they're very tall. This is a team that knows how to read the disc, and they have the height. And so throwing long, Toronto will need to position those carefully, which they just did.
Yeah, throwing, leading the pass, as exciting as it is. I mean, we have seen so many awesome skies today on the stream. We've seen players elevating and making magnificent catches. But the funny thing is most of the time, that's not the pass you want to throw up to your receiver, right? You want to lead them, keep it nice and low, something they can run onto easy where the defender has no chance, right?
Exactly.
But I mean, it's not good TV.
Oh, it looks too easy. It looks too easy when the pass is good.
I'm sorry I had to, but yeah, it is the way you want to win, just nice, crisp, easy offense. So another zone look from Toro here. Origine last time looked upfield for 1 second, swung the disc immediately, or just now not even looking upfield as Le Chasseur gets the disc right away. Origine moving that disc across.
And Toro has put a zone on.
Yeah, just sticking with it. Le Chasseur to Le Chasseur. I believe they're sisters.
They are sisters.
Jourdain gets that back to Naomi. Now, looking upfield longer here was never mind. Origine being really smart about how long they're going to look upfield before swinging that disc around. And Gaudry airs that out. And, yeah, I hate to see that happen if you're a fan of Toro. Really bad luck for Kim. She read the disc, made the play, knocked it away, but right into the hands of the waiting Origine receiver. I believe there's an expression for that, Chantal.
What is that?
I'm going to leave that to you to tell the viewers.
I was going to talk about the sisters myself. But,
Okay, well, I'll just say it since I've teed this up to embarrass myself. There's a reason your coaches yell, catch your D's to you, and there it is.
Makes so much sense.
But sometimes you can't. You know, I can't speak for Kim if she had to elevate as high as she could and only get her fingertips on it. You can't catch very well with your fingertips, but if you can, catch it, try. So stuff like that does not happen to you. But our sister's playing on,
yes,
or a pair of sisters, excuse me, playing on Origine.
This is one of the cool stories with Origine, is that they have 3 pairs of sisters.
Three.
Alors, sur l'équipe Origine, on a non seulement les Le Chasseurs, donc Maëlys et Naomi qui sont des sœurs, mais on a aussi les sœurs Barrière, Émilie et Julienne, et les sœurs Breton, Maëva et Anaëlle. Puis ça fait quand même une bonne chimie dans l'équipe. Puis on l'a vu là, les 2 sœurs Le Chasseur qui étaient des handlers principales. Les handlers, c'est ceux qui manient le disque. Puis tu vois qu'ils peuvent anticiper ce que l'une et l'autre vont faire. Puis ils sont bien capables de jouer sur le terrain.
That automatic chemistry you have.
When you have a sister on the field.
Yeah. So that lands in. Shimoda will pick up. Shimoda looking upfield. Instead has a big dump to Garb. Oh. Pearson reels that in past the layout. It was close. And number 11, Caitlin Windover, going up to make that catch, but just seemed to carry it. She stretched up. The wind seemed to carry it a little too high for her elevation at that point. Toro immediately setting up in a zone. And Le Chasseur moving that immediately to LaSalle. Schmidt sends it back. Big huck here by Origine. Well, a big huck attempt, but the disc turns over immediately. That was Maëva Breton's pass that turned over in the wind. Pearson has been a center handler for Toro so far and picks the disc up. Has no options underneath as we're seeing a poachy zone here. I believe, yes, now it's been set into a total zone by Origine. Oh, and that bounces off the hands of Kelly Choa. So now Origine is on the doorstep.
And this is exactly why we play zone. This is exactly the purpose, is to create more passes, more opportunities for drops for the team on offense.
And Origine with the break. Number 5, Anae Schmidt, bringing that in. Zippy pass from Lilia Enriquez.
Les passes, la qualité des passes de l'équipe Origine me surprend. C'est vraiment du maniement de disque de haut niveau, parce qu'il y a un vent présentement, Clay, il y a un vent qui n'est pas toujours constant, et puis ça ne paraît pas du tout.
Yeah.
Puis ce dernier lancer-là, je dirais, il y avait quand même une bonne pression sur la marqueuse. Il faut dire que celle qui s'est démarquée, là, la numéro 5, pour être la cible, elle a fait un excellent travail. nommons-la Anaïs Schmidt. Donc, elle était très bien démarquée, mais quand même, le lancer était d'une précision chirurgicale.
Yeah, if I had to put a word on it, it'd be zippy.
Zippy throw.
Yeah, zippy throws.
I was saying surgical precision. You're like, zippy throws.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, and the decision-making, though, like the confidence, right, in also what they're doing.
Exactly.
It's been just an immediate look to the side or to the option and not wasting any time entertaining throw that's like, yeah, maybe not. I'll think about it, which is so common for handlers, especially in this junior division.
And I was going to say, I don't know if it comes off through the camera on the stream, but they seem very calm to us, the Origine ladies.
Yes. So zone look here from Origine. You looking for options. Elects for the open side. Around to Wang. You. Looks for Merle, but it bounces out of her hands. Probably looking for the next option, it looked like, before she had totally reined that in. Origine showing some patience. Tefour airs that out. And I believe that was Elodie Asselin with the goal. She had a big layout earlier in the game to keep their offense alive, and now reins that in. The score, 4-1.
Let's talk about that choice of a throw by number 8 on Origine, Marianne Dufour. She had a lot of options, much closer to her. Why did she pick that option, Clay? Tell us about it. I'm just setting this up for you.
No, that's okay. That throw is actually one that handlers use a lot. I'm a big fan of it myself.
Me too.
And what it is the team expects you, if you're looking kind of in that jam zone, that 1/4 vertically of the field where all your quick options are and everything. The front of the stack, the handlers are moving. Everybody's in front of you. They're all calling for it. Everybody, including the defense, kind of gets focused on that. And suddenly, you know, you have, Asselin notices. And says, hey, my check is really paying attention to what's going on in front. I'm going to break out to the other side where it's unguarded. The mark has started to jump around to the other side. And then Dufour says, oh, I've got a big, I flick to an unguarded player, right? Just take the shot.
And you were talking about leading throws. That was
Yes.
a beautiful floating leading throw on top of it. And so the number 12 could just run to it, Asselin, and catch it wherever she saw fit. Alors, ce qu'on dit, c'est qu'il y a eu un choix de fait là, par la lanceuse, la numéro 12. On a vu que les deux équipes ont pris un temps mort, là, ils s'en remettent, là, mais c'était sûrement pour l'équipe TORO de dire wow, ça fait 3 points qu'Origine a fait. Mais c'est ça, on parlait que la lanceuse, la numéro 8, Marianne Dufour, dit de faire qui était totalement loin du tas de monde, finalement, qui avait très proche d'elle. Puis ça, c'est un choix que des handlers d'expérience vont choisir de faire parce que sa cible était seule. Puis elle a été capable de le positionner, aussi elle était capable d'exécuter ce lancer-là. Et puis il y a beaucoup moins de chances qu'il soit
if you can pull off
intercepté.
that leading pass, right, it's free.
Ben oui, mais il faut que tu sois capable de l'exécuter. Puis elle a été capable. So TORO, probably having taken that time out, Clay, to say to their teams, hey, listen, Origine has scored the last 3 points. It's 4-1. Let's get on the board here.
Shimoda goes to Choa right away. Garb. Electing to go backwards, keeping it in the handler core here. Shimoda looking for options. Doesn't like going backwards immediately, but has to. Garb is there for her, excuse me. Shimoda getting it back.
And Clay, these two teams have played each other this year. They saw each other at the CUC Junior Championships. At the OJ Cup.
Oh, okay, so they do have experience playing each other.
They do this year, and Origine has won. That game they won 12-7. So it could still be anybody's game. That's a pretty close score.
Origine has done a very good job so far of holding TORO into that underspace, that handler space. TORO's been having a hard time getting it upfield, and now on offense, we just see Origine just working the disc so quickly to where they want it. Look upfield for 2 seconds and then move it back, and we're seeing that now. as throws that might not work are looked off, but running out of time. Malmsey is able to find Canuel. She doesn't like what she looks, so she's going to go back to Malmsey.
Excellent D by Toro.
Yeah, ran out of time there, but Justine Leclerc coming out of the stack, noticing once again that her check has kind of started paying attention to what's happening in the front near the disc and punishing that by coming out of the stack at the last second to be wide open. The score now, 5-1 for Origine.
Puis ce qui est fascinant, c'est que bien que le compte commençait à être très élevé, là, alors que celle qui avait le disque, le numéro 9, Eva Manzi, bien que le compte était quand même très élevé, il n'y a pas eu de panique. Il n'y a pas eu de panique à bord. Les joueuses étaient très bien alignées. C'était chacun son tour, ils se communiquaient. Non, je veux voir ça de toi, OK. Ils se parlaient, c'était respectueux, intense, mais respectueux. Puis ça, c'est encore là, une maturité d'un grand niveau pour l'équipe Origine. Il faut dire, Clay, que Origine a des membres de leur équipe qui ont beaucoup d'expérience. Ils ont non seulement des bonnes capitaines, mais ils ont par exemple Maëlys le chasseur, qui, oui, est une capitaine, mais qui a aussi joué sur Team Canada. Alors ça fait une bonne différence. Donc, la numéro 13, Maëlys le chasseur, faisait partie de l'équipe Team Canada, l'équipe du Canada en 2024. Il y avait aussi Lilaya Enriquez, la 73, et puis Ellie Ngo-Duy, la numéro 33. Donc, beaucoup de profondeur sur l'équipe d'Origine.
Especially when those players like Le Chasseur can stay in the back and really drive that handler core, right? So you're always getting into a really experienced player's hand to get things done. Toro is going to try to get an answer here. A quick bobble there by Uwe, but she keeps it alive. Pearson swings that around, looks for it back from Uwe, but she decides to go around the other side of the zone here. Origine zone stifling Toro so far this game. It is very tight. There are at least 5 players within 10 yards of the disc right now. Origine really locking down 6 now. And there's a drop. That kind of pressure is going to make it very difficult to move the disc. 6 players within 10 yards of the disc. Dufour airs that out. And it looks like we have a foul call, a strip out of the hands. Strips no longer stand alone as a rule. They fit under the umbrella of a foul, but it is a foul to rip the disc out of someone's hands who has it. So we're saying they stripped it out of my hands. It's a foul. And
on voit l'observatrice Hélène Marchand qui discute avec les joueuses pour voir exactement ce qui est arrivé parce que le sport du Ultimate Frisbee, c'est un sport particulier où il n'y a pas nécessairement d'arbitre. C'est des observateurs qui aident les joueurs à comprendre qu'est-ce qui est arrivé puis à voir si les joueurs peuvent s'entendre sur une résolution. S'ils ne peuvent pas, l'observateur va taper sur ses épaules puis prendre la décision. Mais dans ce moment-ci, voilà les points, ce qui veut dire que c'est une faute contestée et ça retourne au lanceur.
On the contest, when an observer signals that, they pound their fists together, and that means that neither player actually went to the observer for a ruling. That was, they decided just to go with the foul contest and move on. And as so happens so often after the call, everybody has to be in position, and no one can move until the disc is tapped in. And every single player out there has had a moment in their life where they're a little overzealous and jump the gun here to get moving, but the observers ask them to reset. Dufour now with the disc on the sideline. Spicy IO to Asselin. Origine showing some patience, really trying to work the break side. Takes the open shots if they're there. Dufour looking for options. Has one to, I believe that's Julianne Barrière. We'll double check that, but you know, I was It is Balia, and Chantal, I was just thinking, you know, Origine did a really good job of working the break side and then kind of rolling back into the free open side passes afterwards.
And it's funny you should mention that, because I saw that she had a player in front of the stack calling to her, give it to me on the break side, give it to me on the break side. And that player was relatively open on the break side. But that Origine handler knows what her job is, and it's to evaluate what makes sense to her. And that's, again, that level of maturity where you're not influenced by what someone is telling you on the field. And that's so hard. You know, at every level, that's difficult. But look at these young ladies. This is the division of under 19. So they're 18 or under at this age on this division. And they can have that patience, have that maturity, and make those choices for themselves. Really well done.
And yeah, this age, you talk about maturity, like I always like to use an interchangeable word, that discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah, like they're both there. The maturity to be disciplined, essentially, right? To listen to the drills, to stick to your system and follow that discipline and not fight back against it and run your system. Origine showing that they are locked into that this game.
Origine qui a fait les 5 derniers points. Donc, c'est certain que TORO va vouloir répliquer.
So, match defense this time from Origine. I'm seeing hit calls. If you're looking at players downfield flexing their biceps, actually the signal for a pick. Picks are illegal on accident or on purpose. It's not great to set up a block on a blind side when you're running as fast as you can with no pads. So, picks are not allowed in this game.
And you can't start running until it's
once again.
Il faut attendre que tout le monde soit en position avant de recommencer le jeu.
Pearson finds Windover. She'll throw it right back to Pearson. Ringler is going to air that out. And she was looking for Choa, but a big defensive play by Nadeau brings that down. TORO sets up in a zone. They've been doing this every point so far. They seem to be holding Origine to a few passes right now, but we saw Origine earlier just started using their legs and got right through a block there, but Origine is able to clean up the swell. So a close one for Origine, but now falling into that discipline, easily moving the disc around.
Look at how wide they're using the field, Clay. They're just using the entire width of that field.
And doing so gives you a chance for Breton to launch a massive huck to Nadeau. Manzi has Breton, sticks around. They're going to work together in the handler core here. Continue to look upfield, but are setting up in positions to help each other out. But Manzi saw that Enriquez was coming from the front of the stack, and they punch it in.
So, c'est ce qu'on disait, Clay, que franchement, Origine peut jouer du côté ouvert, c'est-à-dire du côté où ce qui sont pas les défenseurs, où ce qui sont les défenseurs, ou du côté fermé. Ils peuvent choisir lequel ils veulent. Puis là, cette fois-ci, la numéro 9 a décidé de faire la passe. Donc, Eva Manzi a décidé de faire la passe à la numéro 73, Lelaya Enriquez, du côté fermé. Et c'était encore une belle passe chirurgicale. On sent même pas le vent dans ces passes-là. Alors que si la passe avait eu peut-être un peu moins de rotation, un petit peu moins de vitesse, elle aurait peut-être monté, pris dans le vent. C'était pas du tout le cas. Une excellente passe côté fermé, un beau bris, puis la trappeuse qui a démontré aucun signe de doute. Ça a été, comme tu dirais, ça semblait facile.
Yeah. When you have the confidence, everything is easy.
So TORO, probably a little bit concerned because Origine has been
the score is
scoring
7-1.
Yes.
And TORO hasn't scored since their first point. It's just been, it went Origine, TORO, Origine.
Yes.
I won't continue.
So let's talk a little bit about the TORO, Toronto Elite Systems program. They are a well-established training program in Toronto, and TORO is their top junior team. And so the thing is, though, that they have a lot of their players that have graduated. And so as we were mentioning before, once you turn 19, you can't play here anymore. So a lot of their players that, had success in the past are now a little bit too old to play with this team. So it's a renewal of this team.
As happens in juniors, Le Chasseur Gets that around to Dufour. Godin. Her pass is broken up by number 19, Mia Chekalova. So TORO still showing some energy despite the count. Perlat. Gets it under to Leong. Leong looking around for options. Seemed to look to her handlers, but instead found Vic.
Great grab, one-handed grab.
Merle. Looking for options, is sticking with the upfield, doesn't look at her dump. High stall pass and some miscues by TORO, but it looks like a goal. We're seeing Le Chassel signal, yeah, that's a goal. And I think everyone else is just not sure. And hearing that, in fact, Liana Leong cleaning that up was not in, perhaps landing on the line.
And the line is out, as we know. Even any part of the first touch that's on the line, then the entire touch is out.
Looking for options. And after some traffic in the middle, it's Mia Chekalova who had the D, and now the goal. That's a double happiness, and TORO showing that energy, running onto the field, cheering, hugs all around. You love to see that sort of spirit and energy in a team to stick together and celebrate,
yes,
you know, the accomplishments no matter what.
Yes, they are back. We were just talking about them. I think that's why they're back. I was
saying,
it's
the commentator's curse,
yes,
right?
Yes, the elite system in Toronto, strong coaching system. You know, they've got TORO, which is their top team, and then Uproar, second team, Energy, their third team. They even have a middle school program named Havoc. And so, you know, this team is well fed from their environment. It's just that, as we were saying earlier, a lot of the graduating players that had seen silver last year, they've graduated, right? They went on to the other division of seniors. And so there's quite a few new. They only have one returning player from last year.
Wow.
TORO only has the one. So that says a lot about the depth of the Toronto program, because they had enough good players to backfill everyone but one player. So they're doing extremely well.
Yeah, and not only that, but to come to a quarterfinal, right, when you only have one returner, like, that's a pretty big deal too, because sometimes it's that mental fortitude, that experience of having been here before that brings you to these moments. But Origine, a chance to take half here. And they move it so quickly against this zone. Schmidt to Manzi, and I can't even keep up. Origine is moving this disc so quickly. Breton. Back to Manzi. She will toss that back to Schmidt and gets it right back. These four just working together to take whatever they want through the middle right now. They've already marched it up about 20 yards with their quick passes. And never getting held up on the sideline. Immediately looking for an option around, as you said, Chantel, using the width of the field.
That's a major asset.
Manzi's going to air that out. That's low, and it just sails over the fingers of Maya Vic and brought in by the two Origine receivers. That was Nadeau with the goal. And that will take us to 8-2 and halftime.
Already halftime. A swift halftime.
A swift halftime. At this juncture, we'll be taking a break for now. I believe, yes, we will. So we will be back with you in 7 minutes or just short of that. Oh, psych. I am wrong. Fancy that. We are doing an interview. So, Chantal, I'll give you the last word. But after that, viewers, stay tuned because we're going to toss it to our crewmate Desmond here, who will be conducting an interview with one of the team members.
Oui, donc on vous donne quelques minutes pour vous reposer. C'est la mi-temps, puisqu'on a atteint le score de 8. Et à 8, c'est la mi-temps. On va avoir une petite entrevue de la part de Desmond, qui est un de nos co-animateurs, avec une des joueuses d'origine. Alors, restez à l'écoute. C'est Desmond avec une des joueuses d'origine qui sera avec vous dans quelques
Bonjour tout le monde, je suis ici avec Ellie Ingodui, les joueurs pour Origine. Je m'appelle Desmond Thomas et bonjour Ellie, je veux juste te parler un peu à propos de cette première demi. Comment est-ce que tu penses que ton équipe a joué? Tu as un grand lead dans cette jeu. Je m'excuse à tout le monde. Mon premier langue, c'est en anglais. C'est ma langue maternelle, mais parle un petit peu à propos de le jeu et comment est-ce que tu penses que ton équipe joue?
Je trouve que notre première demi, elle va très bien. C'est notre troisième match, fait qu'on est tous un peu fatigués, mais je trouve qu'on on réussit beaucoup à pousser avec nos jambes, avec notre énergie, tout ça. On est vraiment une équipe soudée parce que ça fait longtemps qu'on est ensemble, puis je pense que ça se voit. On a beaucoup de chemistry.
Ouais.
Et je pense que je suis vraiment fière de ça parce qu'avec Origine, ça va faire ma 4e année avec cette équipe-là. Fait que je suis vraiment contente de l'évolution qu'on a eue. Et vraiment, je trouve que notre première demi, elle va bien. Les passes, le vent est là, mais on est capable de bien gérer ça.
OK. Et est-ce que c'est parce que l'équipe joue beaucoup avec chacun, comme pour beaucoup d'années, ou est-ce que c'est parce que dans la pratique, tu pratiques cette compétence de patience et de prendre ton temps avec le frisbee? Est-ce que ça, c'est une chose qui vient avec le chemistry ou dans la pratique ou les deux?
La patience de l'équipe?
Oui, la patience.
Oui, nos coachs sont vraiment des excellents coachs. Ils priorisent vraiment la complétion. Fait qu'ils veulent souvent que on reste dans nos capacités, qu'on n'aille pas dans les affaires trop funky. Fait qu'ils essaient vraiment qu'on prenne notre temps. Ils nous disent souvent de prendre notre temps, que ça va bien aller. On a tout le temps 10 secondes. On se fait souvent dire ça. Puis c'est ça. Et oui, on travaille beaucoup ça en pratique. La complétion puis prendre notre temps.
Et puis, dernièrement, la réinitialisation. OK, je m'excuse. Mais tu fais ça beaucoup. Des fois, tu regardes au but comme le red zone, mais tu penses, non, je ne vais pas faire cette lancement. Je vais juste retourner le disque et je vais essayer encore à réinitialiser. Est-ce que ça, c'est une compétence que tu pratiques beaucoup ou est-ce que c'est comme tes coachs te disent de faire ça beaucoup?
Nos coachs nous demandent souvent, le moment qu'on arrive sur la ligne, regarde 2 secondes en avant, puis si tu n'as rien, recentre au milieu. Fait que oui, nos coachs mettent beaucoup l'accent sur ça, mais je trouve que c'est vraiment important de le faire aussi parce que ça ouvre le terrain vraiment beaucoup. Puis quand le frisbee est au milieu, je veux dire, tu as accès à chaque côté. Puis nos coteurs, ils font super bien ça, fait que ça nous donne plein d'options après.
OK, merci beaucoup à me parler et bonne chance dans la seconde demi.
Merci beaucoup.
And Chantel and I, Clay, are back on the mics to bring you our last streamed half of the day in our last time slot of the day, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a game here, a women's quarterfinal against, if you're just tuning in, it's Origine from Quebec City playing against TORO from Toronto. The score, 8-2 for Origine. Chantel, I think I like the story so far I'm thinking of, and that is the offense we're seeing from Origine. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I think you're right. The offense from Origine has been very steady, sort of very calm and predictable, and they know each other so well. And we just had the pleasure of having Ellie Ingodui, who's number 33 on Origine, come for a little interview here during half. And she was saying that they've been playing together for a long time. And I think that's also what we're seeing between the two teams. So she's been with Origine for 4 years, whereas for TORO, they only have the one returning player. And I think that's where the predictability, the patience, the trust, the chemistry plays a big role in the success that Origine has had in this game. And that's why they're winning 8-2 so far. But it's only the first half, Clay.
Yeah. I mean, we have a team that outscored another one by 6 points. Who's to say it can't go the other way in the second half? It has happened before, believe it or not, fans. And TORO has shown us that they're willing to stay in this game and celebrate all their accomplishments. They have not checked out as they start the second half on offense. Shimoda picks up. Seeing another zone look, or at least some poaches here from Origine. They quickly collapse as they did before. Choa looking for options. None are there. She gets that around to Pearson, who goes to the sideline with Shimoda. Shimoda is going to look to recenter that to Garb. Garb wants the break. It's not quite there, but she finds a hole in the middle to Choa. Choa finds another hole down the field to an unguarded Windover. Windover makes that grab, and now TORO only 15 yards outside of the end zone. Shimoda's there for the dump. Shimoda not liking her options off field. Looking for a dump. Didn't like the first look. Goes over the top to Garb. Hearing Coach Emma Seaborn from the sideline, you got to keep moving. You got to keep going, cutting, moving the disc. TORO is getting a little bit stalled in this space on the sideline. And after trying to just keep working that small space after many throws, TORO has a drop, and now Origine a chance to break on this first point from half. Monzi moves that to the middle and gets it right back.
And Monzi does this one move, which is called throw and go, which I love. She does it really, really well. As soon as she throws, she's running for a follow-up. See that? And that's always providing more options. So as a handler, that's a skill you want to learn how to do.
And she'll unleash a big backhand. It floats, and Pearson is able to get possession, and keeps this 0 point alive for TORO. Ringler moves that up the line to Choa. Shimoda with the fake back and immediately takes the up line as it's given. Good bait. She'll air that out for Ringler. There's a pick called. I saw it. You saw the biceps go up immediately.
Alors, les biceps de la numéro 6, peut-être pas numéro 6, mais la numéro 6 d'origine, qui indique non pas je fais beaucoup de poids dans le gym, mais il y a eu un pic. Donc, Émilie Barrière qui n'a pas pu suivre la fille qu'elle marquait, donc ça retourne au lanceur. Voilà, lanceuse.
I'm stealing that. Players going to the gym. Pick call.
Pick call. Alors, ça revient.
So Shimoda will get the disc back as her receiver was part of the pick. And Pearson with a few jab steps up the line does get position under defender, but that throw is too shallow. And maybe an opportunity for Origine there to huck Tedmont, but handlers didn't seem to realize doesn't matter as they begin to use the entire width of the field.
Un autre attrapé spectaculaire de la part d'Origine. Vraiment, ils font ça comme si de rien n'était, mais la numéro 20 a dû sauver ce disque-là. S'est aplati au sol en attrapant, comme si de rien n'était. Se remonte puis continue.
Enriquez.
Un autre.
Was looking for Monzi, and yes, another one. A huge grab by Monzi to keep that alive. Enriquez pipes that up the middle, to Edmond. She finds an around to Barrière. And her throw is just a little too low for Juliette Edmond.
On dirait qu'Aimon regardait le disque pour se dire oh, qu'est-ce que je fais, il est à mes pieds, est-ce que je saute, est-ce que je me penche. Il était comme juste un peu trop bas pour elle, là, pour le ramasser dans la zone de but. Donc ça retourne à TORO.
Off the back of the stack was Windover from that pass from Shimoda, but it's a little low, bounces off her knees. So Enriquez will move up and looks for the sharp IO up the middle to number 7, Justine Leclerc. And Origine gets that big break out of half, taking the score to 9 over TORO's 2.
Alors, Origine, quand même, qui a eu beaucoup d'attrapés spectaculaires durant cette remontée avec leur disque. Sérieusement, à clé, il y a plusieurs de ces attrapés-là qui se seraient soldés en revirement pour d'autres équipes. Donc, Origine, une équipe qui non seulement qui a beaucoup de chimie, mais qui sait faire des choses athlétiques et qui ont des aptitudes d'un grand niveau, plus grand que beaucoup des équipes ici, considérant que c'est des équipes juniors.
Yeah, very complete set of skills.
Very complete set of skills for Origin. So we were saying before that they have 3 sets of sisters on the Origin team, and that helps the chemistry. But whether you have great chemistry or not, to be able to lay out and grab those throws over and over again to save the possession, you still need really good skills, which they do have. They're tall, they're athletic, they're calm, they're playing very well this game.
That pull by Le Chassel is a big one. TORO can't find it. It's going to land in the middle of the end zone on the side. Origine with a big opportunity to trap TORO here, and they get right into his zone as TORO tried to get into a split stack, but it's not there. They have to just start flowing with their handler core. Once again, 6 players from Origine tight around the disc. 3 very close, but really jamming up the middle of the field. TORO likes to go over the top, but Origine's able to take that down. It seemed that Julia Pralat did not have any options. And taking off immediately is Le Chassel, taking advantage of the defense that's not quite set. And Gowi is ready to work with her, but that pass is just thrown behind to her sister, just a little too light. So TORO now has another shot to hold this O-point. Pedal gets the disc moving around. TORO starting to use the width. They're going to air it out deep. Read well by Chekalova. She's been big in the air today, and we've got an injury call by Le Chasseur.
What I believe I saw is that there was a step over her foot. The person with the disc right now, number 19, held her foot as well. So I think that, yes, Le Chasseur signaling that she got stomped on. That happens sometimes. It's incidental, but it can hurt. Hopefully she's walking it off. Alors, le chasseur qui s'est fait piler sur le pied par la joueuse qui tient le disque présentement, c'est un accident, ça arrive quand on saute puis on retombe. Le chasseur qui marche là, puis qui étire son pied, ça a l'air d'être temporaire, on lui souhaite. Alors, une remplaçante, Ngo Dui, qui est rentrée.
So Dufour comes on for her as Origine drops into a match defense. Foul on the throw. And hand signals, you gotta love them. Thank you, Anaëlle Breton, signaling foul and then sticking out her hands to the side to indicate no contest. It makes our life up here very easy and easy on you, the viewers. So you has another shot here from stall 0. But her pass totally read by Gavin running through the disc as Ngo Dui is going to pick up. Being forced towards the sideline. Likes the upline look. Stretching out. Naomi Le Chassel makes that grab once again, showing us that complete set of skills. And then she'll throw a huck to Dufour. Dufour with the misread, but number 14, Anaëlle Breton, is there to bail her out. Origine puts another one on the board. The score, 10-2.
Oui, même si la destinataire de ce lancer-là n'était peut-être pas la numéro 14, Anaëlle Breton. Anaëlle Breton avait fait aussi une cote dans ce coin-là, puis elle se disait peut-être que je vais l'avoir, puis finalement elle a été capable de lire le jeu, puis de sauver le jeu, puis faire le point pour Origine. Il semble y avoir une discussion sur le terrain.
So, there's actually a TMF, Team Misconduct Foul, that was just awarded to Origine. I didn't know what it was. Spiking is not allowed at this tournament. Spikes are fun. And as our crewmate Desmond Thomas said to us, it could have been the too much fun penalty. The TMF, too much fun.
Too much fun.
But I didn't quite see that. That is all stream internet, I'm telling you now. That was all Desmond Thomas. Credit where credit is due. Too much fun.
Okay, I didn't see exactly what happened. I was looking elsewhere. So
yeah, neither did I. And it is kind of weird to see those sort of penalties awarded afterwards. I do see the observer informing the coach of Coach
Toro.
Gabe there of Toro of what just was awarded. So I imagine it has something to do with the spike, because to explain to their team why their opponent was awarded a blue card, I can only imagine it was due to exuberant yet illegal celebration.
Perhaps. And maybe a shout out now is good for coaches who have been coaching. Emma Seaborn and Gabe Isaac of Toro. Emma's been coaching for 10 years, and Gabe has been coaching for more than 15 years juniors.
Wow.
Good dedication.
Kim, as you come back for Horace, Toro moves this around their handler court. We've seen them have no trouble knowing where to be in the handler court here, but it's these upfield throws that Origine is just snacking on, and that's brought down by LaSalle. Enriquez is going to go back to LaSalle. LaSalle now just a few yards outside of the end zone is going to air that out to space, and a huge grab by Origine. The bump seen as incidental. I think that was Naomi Lechasseur with the grab. No, wait.
Number
Excuse
20.
me. Yeah, it's Florence Labonté, pardon me, with the grab. Puts another one up for Origine, sticking through that contact. Labonté showing her athleticism to bring.
Encore,
bring
on a
that in.
vu le choix de la lanceuse de faire vraiment un tir très loin de où ce que tout le monde se situe, là, un tir dans le côté ouvert, mais qui était loin de tout le monde. Puis pour lequel là, la bonté était la seule qui était pour être la première à toucher au disque. Et ça encore, c'est un choix d'expérience. On est conscient que cette équipe-là joue depuis longtemps ensemble. Puis on veut aussi remercier leurs entraîneurs, Suzy Dufour, Pascal Dufour et puis Vin Ngauduit. Félicitations pour votre dévouement et puis la belle équipe qu'on voit aujourd'hui. Alors le score, 11 pour Origine, 2 pour Toro.
Still lots of time left in the game. We're at the 48-minute mark.
Ce qui est en jeu aujourd'hui, c'est une place pour les demi-finales. Donc, l'équipe qui gagne le match d'aujourd'hui va pouvoir jouer pour les places 1 à 4.
Ringler finds Garb back. Shimoda. Been an excellent reset for Toro this game. And Pearson, the highlight handler, lets one loose. Windover just running in the other direction as that disc sailed away from her. Hard to make the adjustment to turn at a 90-degree angle when you're already running at full speed.
And you're right, Clay. That was the wind that picked that up. And we haven't seen the effects of the wind on that many discs today. And we were saying earlier, because Origine mainly throws flat discs.
Speaking of.
She could get it. She could get it. No.
With the effort, Jourdain trying to get there, but that pass just pipe deep, a little out of her reach. Shimoda now gets that feed from Pearson. Chloe Ringler comes out of the stack with good timing to get it. She'll look to go to Shimoda. Shimoda goes up the line, but it's not there. Instead, Pearson is there, and her pass just out of the reach of Kelly Choa, who's got her knee braces on and seems to have banged her knee on the ground. So she will be tended to, and as we wait for her to be taken care of.
So we were saying before that the outcome of this game will determine who is going to play for one of the top 4 spots. So both of these teams are assured a spot in the top 8. And that in itself, in this caliber of tournament, is a feat. And Toro, what they really wanted to do was make it back up to the top 8, which they did. And that was really their goal. A stretch goal would have been to make it to the semis. But they have already reached the goal that they had set for themselves, which is to make it back into the top 8. And they had to fight to get there at this tournament. So good job on Toro.
Yeah, Coach Emma Seaborn indicated to me before the game that they were working with a diminished roster as injuries have taken their toll on the team. And while they did achieve their goal, that stretch seemed even more of a stretch, if you will, after having players both playing and not playing who are really feeling it in their bodies today. But The effort is still there. We've seen these Toro players battle the whole way. Like we said, no hint of them checking out. They're here to play and compete. But so is Origine, as Le Chasseur makes that read despite defenders in the area and gets that goal for Origine. The score now 12-2.
And the games will be played to a point scoring of a total 15 or until the time has been reached. And the maximum time allowed for these games is 85 minutes. But given that this game is going a little bit quickly, if I'm not mistaken, Clay, it could be that we reach the score of 15 before the end of the game.
I think we'll get there. We're at 51 minutes out of 85 slot. So I'm feeling pretty confident we will make it.
So we were talking about Toro's objective, which was to be within the top 8 and play some competitive games within the top 8, and they have achieved that. Origine, leur objectif là, pour ce tournoi ici, c'est vraiment d'être sur le podium. Alors, pour Origine, c'est critique qu'elle gagne ce match pour qu'elle se qualifie pour une des 4 premières places du tournoi. Et elles doivent remporter ce match-ci pour avoir accès aux demi-finales. Jusqu'à présent, c'est bien parti. 12-2 pour Origine. Jusqu'à présent, c'est bien parti. C'est leur objectif de se retrouver sur le podium.
Yu tracks down that rolling pole, flips it to Pedal, and Toro quickly moving the disc. Shekalova has had iron grip hands this game, catching everything. Flips that up to Yu as she takes up the line. That's fed to Leong. Leong looking upfield, doesn't like it, looks for a dump. Yu is back there to help her out. And a big one-handed grab made by Pralat. She's looking for options off field, and she sees something she likes, and that's Leong going deep, scoring that.
That must feel amazing for Toro.
And it does look, arms out immediately, jumping, celebrating, cheering. You love to see this as a coach, as a spectator, as a commentator, whatever, just a team, no matter what, showing that cohesiveness and support to each other.
Yes, good for them. A good point. And that's what they wanted to do, right, was play highly competitive games. That was their objective. And so to play against a highly competitive team, this is why I love CUCs, Clay.
Yeah.
It's a privilege in itself to play against other highly performing teams. It's so much fun. You learn so much when you're matched up against someone who can make cuts that you can't follow. You go, wait a second, what has she been doing?
I need to learn that.
What do I need to learn here? And that's why this is such an opportunity. So good on them. They've even scored against this, this team that has been playing together for quand même, en 2022, ils étaient 5e. En 2023, ils sont arrivés 4e. Donc, ils ont tout juste manqué la médaille l'année passée. Alors, ils ont un peu ce goût amer dans la bouche de l'année passée 2023 où ils n'ont pas pu être sur le podium. Mais cette année, Origine vise le podium.
We'll be curious to see if they meet their rivals from last year, Vortex, again, as Vortex is also in the championship bracket. Big throw there by number 8, Marianne Dufour. I had to take a minute to process that cannon of a throw. I can't quite see the number of who brought that in. Efficient offense, and you love to see an O-line come back like that, even in games where the score is quite far apart, to just fire something off and get your D-line, get your players back out there to go and do something for the break to win the game. I think that was Clara Godin, but
Well, on n'est pas certain exactement qui a attrapé cette bombe, mais on est certain que c'est la numéro 8 qui l'a lancée, Marianne Dufour. Et c'est rare les gens qui sont capables de faire des beaux longs lancers forts et précis comme celui-là. Puis on voit ça dans une équipe féminine junior. Moi, en tout cas, je suis vraiment impressionnée. Bravo, Origine, bravo les filles. C'est du beau frisbee.
The score 13-3. Origine 2 points away from the top 4. TORO showing they don't want to quit as Garb gets that to Pearson. TORO seeming to find more room underneath now and then quickly moving it back to their handlers once again, except this time it bounces off the hands of Ringler. As Malcy is going to pick up, ask for some cuts to start. Sees something right away from Nadeau. Nadeau doesn't like the huck option, fakes it and flips it back to Malcy. Barrière goes for a quick flip to Canuel, but I don't think she was expecting that, and that bounces off her hands.
Oui, même les joueuses d'Origine sont surprises des fois par la rapidité des décisions de lancer.
It's that word zippy, right?
Zippy.
Just a zippy pass that you're not expecting. Hard to bring in. Shimoda has options from back of the stack. A little low for Ringler that time. Malcy looking downfield before she picks the disc up. A smart idea to see what options she'll have. Nadeau is wide open underneath. She sticks with her and feeds her on the sideline, and she'll send it back to the middle. Malcy looking for the swing right away, this time electing to go over the top to Emon. Back to Malcy. Malcy looking for options. Pointing, directing some traffic. It's not there. This will be a high stall count, so she turns around, looks for a dump. This time is able to coordinate with Canuel, but that pass didn't have much of a spin on it.
Quand elle s'est revirée pour voir s'il était où ses dumps, il n'y avait personne d'actif. Donc je pense que là, elle s'est dit, oh, j'ai fait ce que j'ai pu, mais...
Which has been uncharacteristic for this team,
oui.
As we've seen a lot of discipline in the back. Malcy. This time connecting with Canuel in the backfield as they see what they can get going with their handlers. And this is what we've been used to this game. And with lots of time, I think Juliette Amon thought she was going to be under pressure. A defender was coming. She was all alone and seemed to attack that disc a little too early, out of her reach.
Seems to bounce off of her hand, yep.
Ringler going to put that out to Chekalova, who has been 100% for TORO this game.
Look at that beautiful put.
To Lou. Lou goes back to Pearson. Some players asking for the hammer, the over the top. Pearson says, no, thank you.
No, thank you. I'm going to choose a reset here.
Shimoda asking for cuts. Nobody's moving. Looking for options. Has Pearson to bail out. There's some movement. Origine does some great positioning, but Garb fights through that to make the grab, literally standing on the line of the end zone, asking for a reset or something, and sneaks that up to Pearson. The score, 13-4. TORO refusing any kind of capitulation as they continue to put themselves on the board this half.
And I really enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that I saw when they started to move that disc upfield and they had a few long mid throws, I thought, okay, they're actually believing this. They're going to do this. And they did. And that was a beautiful last throw there by number 7 on TORO's team. That was Chili Garby, who put it up to a Shara Pearson, number 13, who was fighting for space, right? So they've got grit. They are fighting for this. They're not going, oh, okay, game's over. I'm just going to sit back. No. Game is not over. And you never know what could happen here.
Many teams in Ultimate, league teams, semi-elite teams, elite teams, superstar, you know, household name teams have come back from deficits.
Oh, yes.
Just like this, to go on a run, to flip the switch. You never know.
You can never sit back. I mean, there are 48 teams present at Nationals.
Would we like to report on the hilarious thing that just happened of all the water jugs falling out of the container to our right?
But everyone's okay.
I hope everybody's okay.
Everyone's okay. That's the important thing. They're empty water jugs. What were we saying? Now I'm
yes, that's sorry. That was very loud. Anyway.
Deficit, yes. We've seen teams overcome large deficits.
So TORO sets up a zone that causes a turnover. And we hadn't seen their zone successful against Origine, but now we do. And TORO with a chance at a break here. As we're saying, it's never over, and they are starting to put in the work. But unfortunately, that pass aired over Yu's head. And Go-Wee picks it up and tosses it to Gavin. So a glimpse of a break chance there for TORO, but then an unforced error gives that right back to Origine.
Et là, avec un score de 14-4 pour Origine, le prochain point peut potentiellement être le point du match si c'est Origine qui fait le point. Alors, je suis surprise de ne pas voir plus d'énergie sur le terrain, Clay. The girls are looking tired on the field.
It's really hot today. It does sap the energy out of you. It is tough in either. So, funny thing about this, right? In either team's position right now, it's hard to stay high energy.
Why is that?
Right?
Tell us more.
Origine's put in the work. They've got this commanding lead. They're 1 point away from winning the game. It's hot. You've been at this all day. This is the last time slot.
It's probably 30, 35 degrees on that field.
Yeah, and so you're probably thinking it's really hard not to say to yourself, okay, we have this game in hand, right? And now it's like, do I really need to stay high energy? I'm tired. Can we just punch in one more? You have that like, oh, come on, just one more, right? On the other hand, TORO, I mean, you're looking at this deficit going, oh, man, I'm tired, hot. I just want to get through this right now and support my work. So I can also see them being very, you know, I don't want to use the word deflated, but just lacking energy, you know, struggling to keep it up with all factors considered.
And I think that's why mental performance training has more and more started to be part of the Ultimate Frisbee training programs, because your mental state has such an impact on the quality of your plays.
Yeah, definitely a new thing. Certainly didn't happen in our time.
Nope. Wish it had, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
Yeah.
You really see the benefits of it. Ringler finds Phelps in the middle, but I'm looking for some flexing biceps. I see none. So we're going to wait and find out.
On n'est pas exactement certain pourquoi il y a un arrêt de jeu. On attend de voir ce qui va se discuter sur le terrain. On disait que les deux équipes ont l'air à manquer d'énergie, mais il fait environ 30 à 35 degrés là, présentement sur le terrain. Puis tout le monde sent que ça a été quand même 2 grosses journées de tournoi. C'est la dernière journée, le dernier match de la journée. Et puis le score indique que c'est un peu près de la fin du match. Alors, on est surpris d'un côté, mais peut-être pas si surpris que ça d'un autre côté.
Pearson looking for options. We've seen TORO have very late options out of their vertical stack. Pearson elects to go for one, and that's blocked by number 20, Florence Labonté. Labonté is going to take off deep, but instead they go underneath. And hitting the ground is Canuel to keep that alive. Lessard will go back to Canuel. To Schmidt. Has locked in. Instead, doesn't like it, looking for options. Finds Breton. And Schmidt goes up the line. Breton doesn't like it. Instead, she'll just feed that to number 16, Juliette Amon, and that will end the game of a score of 15-4. Origine moving on to the semifinal. They did want to hit the podium. They will certainly have a chance no matter what to reach that goal now. 1 game away from the podium no matter what. Stretch goal, obviously, that gold medal on the podium, but they've met their goal, and you can see them celebrating that. So
this is great because both teams have achieved their tournament objectives. TORO wanted to get back in the top 8, which they did. They got the chance to play this fantastic game today against Origine, and they will continue this tournament playing against other top 8 teams, which is what they wanted to do, to get that experience, which is going to be so valuable to their program moving forward. Puis Origine qui a atteint son objectif de se qualifier pour un premier temps pour les demi-finales, qui va leur donner un accès aux compétitions pour le podium. Puis on leur souhaite une médaille.
So with that, we are going to sign off for today. Our first stream tomorrow will be at 8:30 to bring you a semifinal. Unfortunately, I can't remember from which division. And after that, we'll be taking a break and then bringing you the bronze medal game. Some cool stuff is happening tomorrow. The bronze medal game from our women's division. And then following that with a little bit of an overlap, which technologically we could pull off, which is amazing. We will be featuring the Open and then the women's final. So tune in tomorrow for 3 medal matches and a semifinal at 8:30 Eastern Time. Clay Howlett
and Chantal Dussault
signing off. Join us tomorrow.